fully capable, have access to all of the tools that are necessary to move shit forward and step up for people around them. Do you choose to use it or not? I got, half my family's white, and half of them might get it, and half of them might not. It's also hard to relate to things you can't relate to. By the way, if you don't live around black folks and you just watch TV, you're gonna be racist.
Yeah,
you should be racist.
I was watching BET
I'd be racist
all the time.
It's a mathematical equation. You and media and a fake-ass history system that makes you believe that white people created any of this makes you think that black people ain't worth the damn. Of course, that's the way the algorithm works. So you need to put an effort forth, just like what was happening in the gay rights movement. Back when I was a kid, everybody said FAG. You call it fag, whatever, because we didn't know anybody that was gay, and that's what people said. And you meet some people, and you step forward instead of back, and you realize, oh, as a human being, I'm an asshole. I shouldn't be talking like that. That hurts people. And you move forward. But we look how quickly the gay rights, the LGBT movement has moved forward. That also involves white folks, and gay people are part of your family, whereas black people aren't necessarily part of your family unless they are. We're 8% of the population, we're like 11% of the population, which is staggering considering how dominant we are, and that we are the most profitable export in this country, our culture and every single thing that we do. But that's how, so it's certainly possible. There's being biracial is a very interesting thing, but it also depends on where you're at, right? If you're in the suburbs, if you're in an urban area, if you're around people, if you're in a diverse, if you're on the subway train in New York, or you're driving alone in your car in LA and you ain't around people. It's exposure. All of this stuff comes with exposure, and a willingness to be able to talk about it without being. There's so many white folks here that are absolutely able to step forward and have the conversation without being fucking insecure about it. If it ain't you, what do they say? If I throw a rock into a crowd, the person that gets hit is the one that squeals. Don't be hit. If I'm not talking about you, if I'm talking about slavery, you ain't a slave master, then why are you stressing?
Why do you think they get so defensive? Like that, I feel like, I'm speaking of my uncle in
because when you're privileged and you're a fucking spoiled brat, you complain about everything. When you get everything that you want at all times, you complain when you don't get it. If you're rich for the first 12 years of your life and you fly first class and suddenly you ain't rich no more, you gotta fly coach, you're gonna bitch about that. That's gonna be uncomfortable. Something was taken from you. The thing is that we ain't taking anything from anybody. We're not more violent than anybody. Fact. It's backed up by data. We're not more prone to misbehavior in school yet. We're brought directly into the prison system from suspensions, and suspension at an incredibly disproportionate rate. We're not more prone to crime. We are far more prone to poverty, and generational poverty is a very real thing. You can't corral an entire segment of the population into ghettos and away from the American dream and then wonder why it doesn't look like a Norman Rockwell painting. Why would it be? It's that you've decided that it can't be. Housing discrimination is the biggest fucking secret in this country. The suburbs were invented to uplift white America and to create a middle class and to subsidize upward mobility when it was against the law for black people to get those loans. Against the law for people to own property, actual deed to their homes. In Chicago, for example. I mean, Mr. Coates' article, reparations article, covers it wonderfully. I'm not saying anything that hasn't been said a million times already. But that's one of the major secrets of the 20th century. It's like understanding gun germs and steel, right? That's what really emboldened white supremacy to wonder why Europe was so dominant. Gun germs and steel is a very important text to understand the intersection of coincidence, right? And it's all and why we think that it's okay to have a movie like fucking Exodus where white people look ridiculous dressed like Africans. We look ridiculous because we know it's make believe. But it's just a movie. Nah. It ain't just a movie. That's shit that gets Mike Brown killed. And all you people think it's okay because he's a fucking animal because you think that all of this stuff is connected. That's what you learn, especially while you're out there in Hollywood playing games. You know how many fucking jobs I have to turn down and how many people I have to fire because of the racist shit that I get offered? And I'm as white as you can get being a black person.
That's true.
I have a fucking struggle. Imagine him trying to get those jobs. You gotta decide whether to wear a do-rag and rob some white person on a TV show or pay your mortgage and raise your family. And that's no fucking joke. Those are 5 of my closest friends. You have to decide every 3 days whether they want to chip away at their own soul and chip away a piece of themselves to dance and shuck and jive for white America, to fucking rob some white person on TV or to play some demonstrably black piece of shit in some movie in order to pay their rent. 35, 40-year-old grown-ass men with degrees. It drives people insane to be constantly smushed. It's measurable, it's real, and that's lovely Hollywood. That's not Ferguson, Missouri.
We don't hear about it.
No, but the young woman made wonderful points today. A struggle is stifling. You are suffocating. When you're suffocating, guess what? You can't breathe. And when you can't breathe, you'll do anything for air. You know, that's why of course you're gonna poor people stealing. Is stealing bad or not? Because the whole the financial structure, Goldman Sachs just fucking destroyed this country and destroyed people's lives, real lives, taking their homes, and none of them are in jail. You don't know any of their names. You can't name one of them. So is stealing okay or not? It's a schizophrenic society where where we're told violence is not okay, and Michael Brown is a thug because he muscled some dude in the store. Great, that's not great, but you just blew his fucking head off. So is violence okay or not? It's a very fair question to ask.
Why do you think people deny the facts? Like, so many people are denying.
It's not convenient. We're lazy. We do what we want. It's why you don't want to be forced to change. That's what the Republican Party is doing. We don't want to change. You're making us change. There's too many of you brown people around. You're making us change. We're gonna have to not be able to say, play to God in schools. People don't like change. None of us like change. Nobody likes to change, and also if change means that you were wrong for so long. Right? You couldn't go get a fucking sandwich 40 years ago. You could not go into a store and get a sandwich. Think about how insane that is. Apparently Von Derek might not have been able to get a sandwich either, but think about how insane that is. It's ridiculous, but people don't want to change, so they're going to we'll kick and scream and scratch and do anything we possibly can to keep you from... Anyway, I gotta go. Sorry,